Look at those dishes. Now, dietary restrictions can cause quite a bit of stress for any host when menu planning. But
get this, delicious options. We've got them plant-based, vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free. Please welcome Executive Chef of Elle Cuisine, Lauren Moser.
Hello, thanks for having me, guys. So today I wanted to talk about, first, the difference between a food allergy and a dietary restriction or preference.
Yes.
So food allergy is actually pretty serious, and it usually it creates an immune reaction where your organs may fail, so it can be life-threatening. A dietary restriction or preference, on the other hand, usually is caused by one of two things: a choice, whether it's like an ethical choice because you don't want to support the livestock industry, a diet choice, you're trying to lose weight, or it's an intolerance. So that's digestive. So say you don't react well to gluten and you get bloated, you may choose not to eat it. So we're talking today about dietary restrictions because everyone has one these days. And I know as a host, it can be really stressful trying to accommodate those restrictions. So the trendiest of 2019, based on my experience as a caterer, are definitely vegan, plant-based eating, gluten-free, and dairy-free. So today, what I've done is I've created the classic dish and then the vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free version of that dish. Okay. Because my pet peeve is when it's super noticeable that one guest has been, doted on.
Left out.
So to be a great host, I think you want to, thoughtfully take care of each guest without, showing your stress or inconvenience. Or
singling them out, right? Because they're already like, I don't want to be an inconvenience.
Yeah.
And then,
for them, too. It's awkward, So first, we're going to start with the risotto. So to do like a lovely risotto, you can do any kind of risotto. Today I've chosen to do a wild mushroom and truffle risotto.
Yum.
And you always finish risotto with a bit of butter and Parmesan cheese.
Okay.
That's the last two ingredients. Now, what I do as a trick is right before I finish, I'll take a few scoops, throw it into a separate pot.
For the restrictive.
For the vegan. And by the way, risotto is gluten-free. And so if you do dairy-free, gluten-free, and vegan, all you have to do is just put some in here. And instead of the butter, you add a little bit of like buttery basil and then a little bit of Daiya cheese. And in this one, we're going to add the parm and the butter.
Okay.
And so it's like same but different.
Yeah. And you're just using a little pot, but you're pretty much transferring it over. It's not like you're starting anew with the recipe.
Exactly. And that's the hope, is that you don't have to create double the amount of work for yourself, because then you're clearly going to get stressed out. Okay. And then next we have our sticky toffee pudding.
Yum.
So this is one of our all-time client favorites. And so we wanted to come up with a vegan recipe that's both vegan but also gluten-free, so that we can kind of mirror our classic with, the vegan, gluten-free version of it. So here we've got our vegan butterscotch, and here we've got our classic butterscotch. And so to finish this dish, all you'll do is just pour the butterscotch on top.
Okay. So that's for the regular.
That's the regular.
Okay.
It looks so good. It's so rich.
And this here is the vegan.
So what did you do differently there?
Yeah.
So it's just a completely different recipe for the actual sauce itself and the cake. And those recipes, I think, are going to be found online.
Thank you.
And so can you tell the difference?
No.
Probably not. And so you can top this with ice cream, just get a vegan versus...
the difference?
Should you taste the difference? I've got a couple of forks here.
Let's go into the entree, because that's where I'm eyeing this bad boy here.
So the entree is a steak dish.
I'm gonna wait for
so this
dessert.
is a blackened steak on a mole with a coconut cream and pomegranates. And here we've done a sweet potato steak with the same sides. So I always like to mirror the sides and then just switch up like the main protein, so that, again, when it sits down in front of the guests, they don't feel like they've been sectioned out or singled out.
So make no mistake, if I can spit it out, they look the same. But you sliced a thick, like you roasted a thick.
I roasted it whole,
sweet potato,
with the peel on.
Yes.
Super easy.
Yes.
And then you let it fully cool.
Yeah.
Peel it and then cut it into a nice thick steak, and you can actually sear it in the pan like you would the steak.
And a mole sauce, for people who've never had it, is?
It's like a really rich Mexican, like chocolatey sauce with nuts and spices and chocolate, cocoa.
Oh my gosh, Dean.
I love sweet potato.
Now you typically would be the meat eater, but your parents are vegetarians.
They are. So I grew up on a lot of veggies. And a lot of root veggies as well, so that is so good.
Oh my gosh, it's just filled with layers and flavors, and you don't feel like you said you're getting something different.
Exactly.
Looks the same.
And then over here, we've got our pot de creme versus our lava cake. So again, same but different. And then that's the finished product on the risotto. So it almost is identical once you plate it. And then over here, I actually have some other alternative recipes as well that aren't vegan, but completely gluten-free.
Okay.
So if you get lucky and don't have a vegan at your table, but you do have like the gluten-free, dairy-free guests, I would highly recommend the flourless dark chocolate torte. It's one of my absolute favorites.
What's in it if no flour then? What is in it?
So it's just, you whip the egg yolks. So it's essentially like a cooked souffle.
Wow.
So you whip the egg yolks, egg whites, and sugar, and then you fold them into the chocolate, and it rises and then falls really beautifully like that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's like a 3-ingredient recipe.
Yeah.
And then creme brulee is always a fan favorite. It wows, but it's totally gluten-free.
And you can eat the flowers too.
Yes, you can. They're edible.
Frankie would love that. Can we hire you to do all
Yes,
this for us?
I'm
Of course
ready
you can.
to go. Yeah.
That's delicious. That has a nice kick
That's
to
so
it
good.
too.
I'm going to try the dessert.
Good for your pores.
I'm going to go.
Everybody, please head on over
The
to our
alternative.
website if you'd like to indulge or make these for yourself. Beautiful job. Thank you so much. Right now, over to Mel in the newsroom.